That line right there makes me want to literally stop reading this and get up and like get out of this room. That is such like a terrifying idea, like to feel so, oh, okay, that like makes my stomach queasy just thinking about that. What's up, Rat Fam? I'm back again with another deep dive into a creepy Ask Reddit thread. Oh, these are so terrifying because they are supposed to be real. Real scary stories give me goosebumps just even thinking about it. Before we even dive into it, I'm already terrified. Fun. But the Ask Reddit thread that we're diving into today poses the question, what is the most unexplainable, supernatural, or paranormal event you've ever witnessed? And guys, there are so many replies to this that we're just going to cover a few. So if you want to do some more deep dive into this archived thread, as always, I leave the link down in the video's description so that you can go do that after this video. So let's get to the nightmare fuel. The last Reddit thread we explored left me with such a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach that I'm really looking forward to this one. So fun. I love these. I actually do love them though, so I can't lie. I just like to torture myself. But if you enjoy us diving into spooky Reddit threads or even Twitter threads, give this video a like so I know you want to see more like this. But on to the video. I was spending the night at a friend's house as a kid, around 12 or 13 years of age. Their parents weren't home, so we decided to go out, do some ding-dong ditching, get into some young angsty debauchery, so just like what typical teenagers would do together when there is no parental supervision to be had. We get home and it's around 1 or 2 in the morning. Cue a ringing on the doorbell. Naturally, right away we think it's the cops because a upset neighbor must have called them for ding-dong ditching. My friend had a small window that looked out into the front porch that you couldn't really see into from the outside, so we took a peek to who was ringing the doorbell at such a late hour. Standing at the door was an old woman in a dress and a young boy in a weird newsy outfit. A newsy outfit? What's a newsy outfit mean? Like a paper boy? That's what's coming to my mind. Both were dressed extremely out of period. Okay, oh, cue the goosebumps. These are some ghosts. As it was the 90s, and my friend had never seen either in their neighborhood before. Okay. I'm literally getting goosebumps already. We duck away from the window as we're both freaked out. We look again, and no less than 10 seconds later, they're both gone. Nobody in the street walking away, no cars driving away. They were just gone without a trace. Needless to say, we did not sleep well that night. Oh, needless to say, I never slept well ever again. That is so freaky and scary, and oh my gosh, what would you do? Because that's ghosts, right? You could be like, oh, there's people that dressed up that were doing the same thing that they were doing to other people, so it's like kind of karma if you think about it. If they just disappeared that quickly, where could they possibly have gone? Oh, that is so creepy and so scary. And like the idea of like someone like ringing my doorbell at night or like knocking on my door, knocking on my window. Oh, that freaks me out. Okay, I had to, even though this isn't scary, I have to include this in the video. Someone replied to that post saying, "You got ding dong ditched by ghosts to teach you a lesson," which is very fitting because it is karma for them ding-dong ditching other people in the middle of the night. I was annoyed with my daughter because she hadn't cleaned her room in weeks. So when I walked by her room and saw her standing there, I assumed she was doing what I said to do, which was clean her room. Very typical thing for, you know, what kids to do is not clean their room. But however, you know this is gonna be scary. A few minutes later, she walked out of the shower in the bathroom with a towel wrapped around her and asked why I was looking at her strangely. When I asked her who was in her room, she looked scared too. I never figured out who was there, but they didn't clean up the room either. Okay, I literally got goosebumps. Oh, like I literally have goosebumps. Like just the mere mention of ghosts freaks me out so much. Like, oh, just the paranormal in general freak me out so much because like the whole unexplainable element of it, the unknown is scary to me. Those are my favorite types of horror movies. But just like the idea of like someone being in your house that shouldn't be in your house and someone that's like not alive being in your house that shouldn't be in your house. Oh, but then you happen to see them. Oh yeah, that is just like my nightmare. Oh, yep, hate it, hate it, hate it. Maybe because like I've also had like some weird instances in my house that I'm currently in. So like whenever I'm like filming these videos in the middle of the night when no one else is awake and I'm talking about ghosts in a house where I think I may have seen ghosts, it's not a very good feeling. I mean, you could say like she saw a ghost, or you could say someone broke into their house and was standing in her room and was like gonna steal her stuff, but then like froze when they heard the mom approaching. You know, what would you rather have? I'm not quite sure. Again, I have to include this response because it's just so funny. Such a mom response. Saw a ghost, still mad that no one cleaned the room. And you know, yeah, that's pretty funny because that's what I thought too, because it's like, you saw a ghost. The last thing I'd be thinking about is how messy her room is. So this didn't happen to me, but it happened to my twin brother. We were around 6 years old and living in Central Australia with our dad and our older brother. We were doing some nature walk and fell back a bit. He then screams and runs and catches up. He told my dad he had seen something out there. Okay. Very scary, very scary. You know, I like nature walks. But you know, these stories are really making me aware of how scary things can be lurking. Later that day, we were in town nearby, and my twin pointed at a painting in an art gallery and said that was the figure he had seen. My dad went into the gallery and asked the person at the counter what the figure was. And they said it was an Aboriginal spirit that takes children who wander too far from the camp or family. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, that's a chilling coincidence at the very least. Okay, that literally gave like a shiver down my spine. I did not like that. I know children can have quite the imagination. So like, who knows what the painting looked like? Maybe it was a little more of an abstract painting, or maybe from a distance, it was just like a basic shape of like a person's silhouette. So maybe you can then apply, like, that's why the kids said it was like the same thing. But regardless, if what he saw was actually the exact same figure as the painting, the fact that the stories seemed to match so perfectly with each other, that is terrifying. I think I would walk away so thankful, and also incredibly creeped out, and also probably never wanting to step foot in those woods ever again. Making toast late one night, facing the kitchen bench, eating for a good 5 to 10 minutes. I turned around and every single cupboard door and cutlery drawer were open. Oh my gosh, that is a scene from a horror movie. They were all closed when I went into the kitchen, and there was no one that could have snuck in and done this because I was home alone. And not to mention, they would have heard someone behind them doing this. Oh my god, that is literally giving me goosebumps. I hate this. I also didn't hear them open in the time I was there. It scared the crap out of me, so I froze, let it register for a few seconds, then calmly closed everything and went back to my room to hide until daylight. That was one of a few weird things that happened to me growing up. Oh my god, that is so terrifying. What would you possibly do? I mean, kudos to this person for, you know, taking a moment and rationally thinking about it. I would not be this calm and collected. I would like turn around, see that, and probably scream and run. And if I was home alone, I imagine I would scream and run outside my front door, get in my car, and not come back until I was with like the safety of multiple people coming with me in the daylight. There is no way in heck I would be staying in that apartment that night, let alone really realistically ever again. But you know, money. They said growing up, so I'm assuming they were underage and a kid, so it's not like they could really move whenever they wanted to, so they'd be forced to stay there. The only way to explain that is like you fell asleep and like were sleepwalking and happened to open all those drawers and then sit back down. If that ever happens, I do suggest, regardless if you believe in the paranormal or not, to also go get checked out by a doctor, I guess, or to like make sure no one broke into your house. I don't know. Try to like find a rational explanation for that, but I would personally have no way to explain that happening if you were the only person home alone. That is straight up one of my worst fears ever. Oh god, it's so scary. These are seriously freaking me out. Is anyone else freaked out? Oh, this is such a fun video. I lived in a haunted house with 3 roommates. That is, you know, that sounds like the tagline to an interesting YouTube channel. Find me a YouTube channel that, you know, has this premise and I'll subscribe. They lived there for a couple weeks before I did and swore up and down that a young woman was haunting the house. I hate this stuff. I hate this stuff. I hate this stuff. Oh my gosh, why do I keep picking ones that have ghosts in them? One of them said they had some incense manually extinguished when they weren't home. Another one said they were feeling around in the dark looking for a light switch and felt the hair on the said they felt the hair on the top of someone's head, someone that wasn't there when the lights came on. Oh my, okay. That line right there makes me want to literally stop reading this and get up and like get out of this room. That is such like a terrifying idea, like to feel so, okay, that like makes my stomach queasy just thinking about that like happening to me. Oh my god, that might be like the scariest line I have ever read in my life. I don't mean to be overly dramatic, but something about that like just resonates in my soul of just like I have like a little nightmare folder, I guess, in my heart, and like that one I guess was a hidden folder that I didn't know was there. That didn't make any sense. Okay, I was just thinking, oh, she extinguished an incense. That's a helpful spirit, you know, making sure your house doesn't catch on fire. That's nice. But then, you know, feel it in her head when you're looking for a light switch. Okay, we're gonna keep reading. I'm gonna try to calm down, not be so dramatic. I thought it was all bullocks and that they were just being paranoid, which, you know, moving into a new house, especially if it's older, I could see that happening. You know, new houses take a little while to get adjusted to. You know, you might not be used to finding where the light switch is, for example. So like that can cause like a little panic. And you know, there's creaky floorboards or loud neighbors that make weird noises or rustling pipes. So like lots of rational explanations for creepy things happening when you first move into a house. Feeling someone's head when you're trying to find a light switch though, I got no explanation for that. A month or so after I moved in, I was laying in bed when I swear I heard a girl crying in the hallway. It's always a crying girl. It's always, why? 2 of my roommates happened to be girls. Okay, well, that's nice. At least, you know, there wasn't like a complete stranger. So I got why they'd get up. So I go up to do some investigating and consoling them. I open my door to see who it was, only to discover that I was the only person home at the time. This person was home alone and heard a girl crying in their hallway. I'm still not a major believer in the supernatural, but I won't rule anything out now. You know, that's how I feel. You know, if someone claims to me that they see ghosts or had a paranormal experience, I'm not going to be someone that looks at them and be like, no, you didn't. Because like, I don't know. I wasn't there with you. I've certainly had some weird, unexplainable instances of myself. So like, I don't know how to explain those. So if I don't have answers, I don't want to say that the paranormal exists or doesn't exist. I like to stay on the fence of things because I think both sides are interesting to talk about. That's my personal viewpoint. But when like stories like this have happened and like I've had a similar experience, thankfully not of touching someone's head in the dark, but like that does make you just question things or see things a little differently or be a little more open to the possibility of believing something may or may not have happened. You know what I mean? But I think that does it for today's video. I am sufficiently creeped out. Like that last story literally is making my heart race. I don't want to be in this room anymore with my back exposed to my room. I'm very unnerved. But thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out this video and this channel and this community, the Rad fam. You guys are so rad. And I appreciate every single one of you. And until next time, keep up the radness. And I hope you don't see any ghosts in your room. Bye. I am so freaked out right now. I am sweating.